Hello and welcome to another episode of What to Know. My name is Mavi Gamon, and guess what? Today's video is sponsored by Accentra Credit Union. Thank you very much, Accentra. Today we are talking about how to teach children good money habits. I'm joined by Alvaro Macias. He's the Vice President of Community Development at Accentra Credit Union. Alvaro, why don't you tell us a little about what you do?
Thank you, Mavi. I'm in charge of our financial education here at the credit union. I give people the tools that they need to be smart consumers, and then they can pass that knowledge on to their families.
Why it is important to have those conversations with family? Don't they learn about money in school?
Many schools require financial education, but it's not a long-term focus. To develop good habits, repeated exposure and conversations help build a solid foundation. In fact, some parents don't even talk about money with their kids. But if you don't teach them, the world will. And that's not always the best way.
So at what age should people start teaching their kids about money?
Well, the earlier the better. Most children develop their money habits by the age of 7. It's easier to teach some topics as they age, but you can start with them with some of the basics while they are very young. You can start with a piggy bank. Children as young as 3 can understand having to save money for things, and they can find a coin and put it into a piggy bank. They can also start learning the difference between needs and wants. When you're at the store, talk to them about why there are some things that go in the cart and why there is others that don't. Pretending with money can also help them practice. Make it a game and let them go shopping at home so they can practice exchanging actual like toy money for goods.
How long should parents focus on the basics?
Until around the age of 5 or so. Then you can introduce them to the idea of earning money and setting savings goals. Begin with an allowance for chores. That teaches them that money is earned and not just given out. Talk to them about a purchase they would like to make and save up for, like a toy or a video game. Working towards that goal teaches kids delayed gratification. You can also offer them a small savings match to help them reach their goal.
So what do you mean by savings match?
Yes, for instance, if your child saves $20, then you would add 5. This rewards them for their efforts. It's positive reinforcement so that they can continue saving. But also it introduces them to the concept of earning interest without actually explaining it. After they learn that, around the age of 9, they can actually start learning about the cost of interest.
How will you teach them that?
As they get older, the cost of things your child wants tends to get more expensive. If they are saving for a game system, for instance, that could take them a long time to save for. In that case, you may let them borrow some money and have them pay you back with interest. If they borrow $200, then have them pay you back $200 and $10 for interest. They learn that it costs money to borrow money, and it's best to only borrow money for important things. To avoid borrowing, you can teach them about budgeting. Use your grocery list and show them how you stay within your spending limit. This may be buying generic store brands, couponing, shopping around at different stores, or even deciding against some items that are just more expensive. Then monitor how they spend their money, such as lunch money or birthday money, and offer advice on cutting costs. After building a foundation in the early years, then they will be ready for real-world money management by the time they're teenagers.
Yeah, young teens aren't old enough to get loans or credit card on their own. What does real-world money management mean for them?
Well, by the age of 13, if they don't already have a bank account, now's the time to actually open one. Bring your child to the credit union to meet with an account officer and have the officer go through the process with them. It empowers them to take the ownership of their finances and allows them to ask questions about their accounts and how they work. If you trust your child to be a responsible kid, you can then open a joint checking account with a debit card. You can choose to remove overdraft protection to avoid negative balances. Set them up with digital banking to teach them how to use their banking app so they can track their spending and also check their balances and set budgets. And start having deeper conversations about credit. Teach them about credit scores, how the credit can be used wisely, and also the true cost of minimum payments. Credit card billing statements always show how long it would take you to pay the balance on the statement if you only pay the minimum balance, or the minimum payment rather. Go over that part of the credit card statement with your child and show them how it's broken down and how long it would take them if they only paid the minimum.
You make a good point about credit. Since it's available to them while they're still teens, once they're getting close to finishing school and preparing to start their adult lives, how can you prevent them from accumulating too much debt?
That age can be costly because it's a time of large purchases, but you can refresh them on the skills that you've already taught them. So when buying a car, you can weigh in on needs versus wants and potentially settle for a nice used vehicle instead of an expensive brand new one. With furniture, you can save money by buying from a thrift store. And for appliances, delayed gratification by waiting for sales. Many retailers offer big discounts on major holidays like Memorial Day and Labor Day and others. Now, these skills they learn when they are young will help them better navigate through adulthood.
What about kids who don't join the real world right away and instead go off to college? How do parents prepare their kids to take on that kind of debt?
That's a great question. First, you should talk to them about how student loans work. Both FAFSA and private student loans can be very costly. So that may be the incentive that they need to save as much as possible. They can offset their education costs in a number of different ways. The most obvious is through scholarships and grants, offering need or merit-based assistance that does not have to be repaid. Many local organizations offer them. Students just need to apply. Students get paid towards their tuition costs while in school also. So if they take out a student loan, they can tackle some of the debt before the interest accrues. And many work-study programs on college campuses also allow students to apply their paycheck straight to their tuition cost. They can also save money by attending a community college first before transferring to a more expensive university. That can also save them money on living expenses if they continue living at home instead of paying to stay on campus dorms. Other easy ways they can save are by students preparing their own meals instead of buying the campus meal package, or by renting instead of buying textbooks. Talk to your child about what their plans are for college and start making a plan early.
Wow, that's great advice. Is there anything else you would like to share about teaching good money habits?
Yes, one of the most powerful ways to teach them is to let them see your money management, how you do it. Involve them in your shopping decisions. Talk to them about family savings goals, like vacations or a home improvement project. People learn from experiencing, and kids are no different. They're watching and they're learning from you, whether those are good or bad habits, so it's important to model the behavior that you want them to learn.
Thank you very much, Alvaro. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge here with us today. And thank you again to Accentura Credit Union for sponsoring this video. To learn more about making smart money decisions in America, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Global Diaspora TV, because knowledge is power. I am Amavi Gamon. Thank you for watching.